Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving into the gym business, and we're going to be busting some of the biggest myths out there, all thanks to an incredible white paper by industry expert jthomas. We're going to take you right through it.
It's such an appealing image, right? All that high energy, the amazing equipment, the community vibes. But as Jim Thomas puts it, the reality is, well, it's brutally competitive. Success isn't just about loving fitness, it's about really understanding the business from the inside out.
And this explainer is for all of you who are in those trenches every single day. The owners, the operators, the managers, the salespeople, entrepreneurs, and personal trainers. Our goal today is super simple: to give you some real actionable insights that you can start using right away.
And hey, for those of you looking to open a new gym, or maybe acquire one, or even if you just need some working capital to grow, we wanted to point you toward a great resource. There are funding options available up to $500,000. And get this, it's unsecured with no restrictions on use. You can check that out over at fmconsulting.net. Okay, let's jump into these myths.
So let's kick things off with what is probably the first big battle for any gym owner, just getting people to walk through that door. Here are some of the biggest myths about marketing and sales that are frankly holding a lot of gyms back.
The first, and maybe the biggest one, is that field of dreams fantasy. If you build it, they will come. You could have the best gym in the world, but if nobody knows you exist, you don't really have a business. The truth is, your number one enemy is obscurity. You've got to be absolutely relentless with your marketing and your following.
And that leads right into this next myth. So many gym owners I know, they kind of hate the idea of selling. They think fitness should just sell itself. But the reality, you have to guide people. You've got to help them make a decision and show them why your gym is the answer they've been looking for. And that means every single person on your team, from the front desk to the trainers, they're all part of that process. But marketing costs a fortune, I hear you. And that's another huge myth. You know what's really expensive? Doing nothing. Being invisible is the real budget killer here. This isn't about having a massive budget. It's about getting creative and being consistent.
For example, think about building powerful referral programs or partnering with local businesses on social media. You could run simple check-in contests or just focus on building a really solid email list. These are creative, high-impact strategies that, honestly, don't require a giant checkbook.
Okay, getting members in the door is one thing, but that's really only half the battle. The real challenge, and where the money is really made, is keeping them. And that brings us to some very common and very costly myths about operations and retention.
It is so easy to get obsessed with that new member number every month. But if your back door is swinging wide open, you're just running in place. It's like being on a treadmill. You're constantly signing up new people just to replace the ones who are quietly leaving. Retention, that is the name of the game.
And hey, if you need the cold, hard math, here it is. It costs 5 to 7 times more to get a new member than it does to keep one you already have. Just let that sink in for a second. Focusing on your current members isn't just good customer service, it's a brilliant financial strategy.
Here's another trap a lot of owners fall into: thinking a few rockstar trainers will carry the whole business. And look, they are absolutely a critical piece of the puzzle, but they're not the whole picture. If you don't have solid systems in place for sales, for member engagement, for referrals, even the best trainers in the world can't stop people from leaving. And please, whatever you do, do not fall for this one. Competing on price is a race to the bottom that you will never, ever win. People don't leave a gym they love over $5. They leave because they feel invisible, because they aren't getting any value. Focus on the value, not the price tag.
And finally, let's talk about the person staring back in the mirror, the owner. These myths are all about the mindset and the strategic traps that can sabotage even the most passionate entrepreneur out there.
The superhero owner. The one who does everything: the sales, the training, the cleaning, the books. You think you're saving money, but what's really happening is you're heading straight for burnout, and you're killing your gym's growth potential. You have to delegate so you can focus on the high-level work that only you can do: strategy, leadership, building the culture.
There is no autopilot for a gym. The idea that you can just set it up and let it run on its own is a complete fantasy. A gym is a living, breathing thing. It needs constant energy, daily leadership. Without that, standards slip, systems break down, and that amazing culture you work so hard to build just starts to fade away.
And let's just be real about the timeline here. This is not a get-rich-quick business. Building a stable, profitable gym that people genuinely love, it takes time. Real, sustainable success comes from disciplined, consistent action day in and day out.
So, After busting all of those myths, what's left? What is the one single most important truth that separates the gyms that thrive from the ones that, well, don't make it?
This is it. This is the absolute core of everything. You're not in the business of weights and treadmills. You are in the business of people, of relationships, of encouragement, of community. When you truly get that and you build everything around that simple idea, all the other pieces, the sales, the retention, the marketing, they just fall into place.
And that really leaves us with one last crucial question for you to ask yourself. Just take a hard look at your business, at your daily decisions, your priorities. Are you just building a gym, or are you building a real community? Because the answer to that question will define your future.
Now, if you want some personalized help putting all these ideas into action, you should definitely contact the author of the white paper himself, jthomas. You can reach him at 214-629-7223 or shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net.
And of course, you should also check out our sponsor, Gym Business Manager. They've got the best gym software out there to help you manage that awesome community you're building. You can find them at gymbusinessmanager.com. Thanks so much for joining us.